All right. I'm not used to doing this recorded shit. We usually just wing it. Bangin Beers podcast here at Rusty Rail Brewing today for the Fog Monster 1 millionth canning celebration. And we have Guy here from Rusty Rail to talk to us. How's it going, man?
What's up, dudes?
I'm so excited right now. Obviously, when you come to a place like this, you see it distributed everywhere. You guys are a heavy hitter in the area, and the fact that we're here before customers and stuff, I'm just like, what are we like? It's one of those like imposter syndrome moments. Like, what are we doing here? We don't belong here.
No, you guys belong here.
Yeah.
Come on.
But yeah, we're super excited to be here.
We've got the brand new Fog Monster variety pack here that we're gonna take a little few 2-3 swigs out of.
Yeah.
Guy's gonna tell us about what's going on today and what led us here today. So, what's going on today, Guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you hit it in the beginning. 1 million cans of an individual brand is pretty wild in this era of craft brewing. So we just want to take an opportunity to acknowledge it and get people stoked on the fact that Fog Monster is a relevant brand, and we wanted to celebrate it by making some different iterations and bringing some people out and showing them a good time. So that's
awesome.
what it's about.
So while we got that, we also have. Tony and I have
show beers.
Yeah, some show beers here. The Planet
Free
of
beers,
Ice,
Yeah.
the cold IPA, dry hopped with Motueka and Raku hops, however you pronounce that.
This is
fantastic.
I've never
Cold
had
IPA is a new sexy way to say IPL, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's similar for sure. Just basically like a colder fermentation, and it's like, okay, well, if that's a hot thing to say, we're gonna say it.
Yeah. Then Billy's got the what do you got? The tea shandy,
lemon tea shandy called Shimmer.
That's fantastic. Yeah. What are you drinking there?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing Shimmer. So
okay,
that's
2 shimmers. Nice.
Yeah, part of the festivities today is also releasing this Shimmer beer. We kind of made a mission at Rusty Rail to get better involved in the community.
Awesome.
So Shimmer is kind of a work with the local watershed community that monitors the creeks around here.
Oh, awesome.
And then also the Freedom Fighter Outdoors. So
sweet.
Yeah, you expect to see more stuff like this from Rusty Rail and just better and getting entwined with.
Awesome, and that's awesome. Community. For the breweries to get bring back to their local community too is awesome too, because obviously we're up here in Mifflinburg and hunting and fishing and a lot of good outdoors out this way too. So
I stopped at a local gas station down the street, and they looked at me like, "You're not from around here." I went, "Nope."
They knew that because you arrived in a car. That's how they figured it out. They're like, "Where's your horse?"
Yeah. I went to the gas pump, and they have 3 gas pumps, but not one person's car but mine were able to fit in any of them because everyone has a truck and then a giant trailer.
Then there's also a gas pump that's
like a water bucket.
just horse feed.
Yeah, this is a horse trough. Can I tie my horse up? Yo, dude, if I can walk around town on a horse, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I never stayed in my own state and felt like I wasn't in my own state.
Yeah, right.
Before, it's beautiful here.
Yeah, Guide, so tell what kind of festivities we got going on today?
So we have a band. Route 15 is going to be playing. Going to have a couple food trucks. We're actually letting a local distillery come out and sample some of their spirits. But mostly it's just us drinking beer. So it's a reason for the brew guys to drink beer and talk to people that
kind of unwind a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's awesome. Like you said, this for the millionth canning of Fog Monster, and you're doing everything all by hand, right?
Yeah.
All the packaging and everything too. That's awesome. That drive and just kind of that workmanship probably gives a little bit more camaraderie to the warehouse and stuff.
Oh, for sure, man. I can definitely talk on that for a minute. There's a strange dichotomy that exists here because you come in, you see this really big, beautiful facility. You're like, oh my gosh, I bet the brew team's this big, crazy facility. Or you think seeing our beer out in the market, you're like, man, these guys must have automation and sometimes people are prematurely
guilty.
Yeah. People are prematurely putting us with Victory and Trogs, and it's super flattering. But you come see what we do, it's all by hand.
Nice.
Our brewers are mashing in by hand. Our brew system is all valves, and it's very, very much feel and. It's pretty wild, the work that our guys do.
Especially even on the podcast level, people listen to this or they watch it and they're like, "Oh man, the equipment looks great. This they must have someone to edit it." So I'm like, it's pretty much just the 3 dudes just working, grind, and we all have regular jobs too. And so it's a compliment when people, I guess, put you in a different category than maybe you're even at yet. I thought the same thing. I showed up and I was like, you can get this beer everywhere. This is one of the staples in our area, like a Trogs, a Rusty Rail, a Victory, and it's all over the place. And you can get it any store you go to. It's usually on tap at almost any bar in our area, and we're not even a huge craft area. So when we came here and you see it's still done by hand, and you guys are a small operation who just has a really strong work ethic, that's super cool to see.
Yeah, no, awesome. I'm glad we were getting to showcase that a little bit.
Yeah, it's awesome to get that. Like I said, and just I work in logistics and stuff, and you kind of seeing that stuff, and those hands-on things really build a lot better teams though than just someone hitting a button on a line sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, if you were here this week, you would have seen like our marketing guy building variety packs. You know, you would have seen like the dude that drives the forklift is hopping out and like building variety packs. Like,
Nice.
it was the faces of the brewery all in packaging, all building the variety pack. So yeah, it definitely brought the team together. It was a fun experience.
Awesome. So in essence of time, because Guy has a very busy day ahead of him here. So the first one we're going to crack here is the flagship Fog Monster and the whole reason that we are here. So.
Yeah.
What a fantastic.
And this one, I've had this one before. This is one of my go-tos whenever I grab like a hazy at home. Like, like I'll be out, I'm like, I don't know what to grab. And then Fog Monster, I'm in.
Yeah. Rusty Rail is definitely one of those staple breweries where when you're out and you want to spend some money, but you're like, maybe I don't want to take a risk. Like some people are in the new craft game, and the big thing is brand of like knowing that brand. And usually when you see a brand, you're like, all right, I've had tons of things by them I like. I'm more inclined to spend my money on it. And Rusty Rail, I believe, is in that category that people can do that.
Oh, yeah. Awesome, man. Thanks for the kind words there.
And it's even in that category
So I keep
because if people know the name but don't know a style, so they know that they had IPAs from you and they're good, and they see a sour from you, they might be like, oh, well, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Because it's off of Rusty Rail and I like their other stuff. So it might get people into other styles versus
Absolutely.
to try to stay in one forever.
Yeah.
When did you join the Rusty Rail team, and what's your origin story with the brewery and the brewery itself?
Yeah. Oh, cool. So since I was 20 years old, I've been in the beer business. I worked at a retail store in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and then I ended up managing that beer retail store. I then worked for Dirdak Brothers out of Paxinas, which is a local beer wholesaler. I worked for those guys for about 5 years, and then I got a phone call from a guy who previously worked at Dirdak Brothers and said, "Hey, come work for this brewery in Mifflinburg." And I was like, "Nah, man, thanks."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had a really great position that was very secure, and like the job was like super fun. And I was like, "Nah, I think I'm like good." And then he's like, "No, man, I think you might be like overlooking this." Like, he kept reaching out to me, and we kept talking back and forth. He's like, "Come see like the space and everything that's going on." And like, I came, did a tour of the building before it was finished, and then had a meeting with the owners of Rusty Rail for like 2 hours, and was just completely like hooked on like their vision and like what we were going to try to accomplish. So yeah, that's kind of how I got put on the team. That was
So you're
that was
almost like a
7 years
day
ago.
oneer.
Oh yeah, definitely day one.
Nice.
Yeah, before we had done anything or brewed anything, I got to be here, which was really cool. So.
You've been able to see it grow from the get-go. That's awesome.
Yeah, and to be part of that is like a super humbling experience.
What is the first beer that you guys put out?
So we put out Trails End Pale Ale, which was a single hopped Citra hop pale ale, and I really love that beer a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those stories of like the team loves a beer, but like the market isn't taking it the way that you want it to, and so yeah, that was the first beer we did was Trails End.
Nice.
Now, when you do a variety pack like this, so say if you have like a beer that's maybe new to the market. Now, obviously, this variety pack, you have your staples and you have a variety of the same style. Now, if that beer that you said that it was really good, but you're not sure how the market liked it when it first started, and now the years have passed, can that be something you can make a smaller batch of and be like, hey, we'll sneak into a variety pack, kind of like a Trogs does. And if it does well in the variety pack and people clamor for it, we know to make more. Is a variety pack a good way to test that out?
That's a great question, and it's not the way that you would think. So a variety pack is, you have to have immense confidence in the beers that you're putting in the variety pack, because the packaging itself takes such an immense investment.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you
that can
basically
be
are
cheap
doing
to print.
all this like proofs and all this artwork that goes into it, and then you have to buy a quantity to make it a cost-effective package. So you're investing thousands and thousands of dollars in that package, and it's like you just have to know the beer that's going in is going to be a winner. Most of our opportunity for variety comes through the local market and like making sure that we get our like small batches distributed to like the local partners that we have here.
Yeah, I always took like the Trogs and the other like different variety packs as like, here's our 3 hitters, and then we'll sneak that 4th one in and see how it does if people like are into it.
Or like they throw that seasonal.
Yeah, or they throw like
Yeah.
that seasonal like the test market almost, like before they make like a full.
Well, that's for Rusty Rail. So think about it, like a small run for Trogs is probably a huge run for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like,
totally see that.
Yeah, so like Trogs is confidence in like a beer that they've developed. Probably they have a specific like amount of volume that's going to produce that would be large to us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, is this your first variety pack of cans that you've put out? I've never seen a variety pack like this from you guys before.
Yeah, first time ever.
First time
ever
ever?
doing 12-ounce cans.
Awesome.
So that's exciting too.
So that's something too, like we've talked about on the show a few different times, that like I miss variety packs. Phone down.
Yeah.
I miss variety packs because like back like in the earlier days of like when craft beer started making it bigger, I'd go to my local distributor because obviously it was harder to find beers, and I'd be like, okay, what's this variety? Let's take that home and see what's good. And
These are
go
great
here.
for podcast content.
Yeah.
So we get that because some places you have to just buy a full like a full 4-pack or for this.
Yeah,
and
it's
we're
like now I dropped I think $114 on a lineup from Fourscore.
Nice.
But yeah, no, like being able to see these starting to come up again, like you guys here now with the Fog Monster, and we're drinking the Fog Monster right now, which I'm not going to talk too much about the Fog Monster because we've all had it and we love it, and obviously they've made a million cans of it, so it's good.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of dive in a little bit quick here on these other ones here in a bit.
So
But,
do you actually know like which one is coming off the line as the millionth can?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah?
No, we actually
you
had
have like
it.
fireworks go off and stuff.
No, we all like got together and just like did like a little like hoorah like.
Who cracked the can?
What's that? So the cans, we took the full case that was the millionth can case.
Yeah.
And then we gave a can to each of the guys on the team.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So I actually I know who has the actual millionth can, and I'm not going to say, but everyone kind of has that feeling that they have the millionth can. And that's what's really exciting
that's
because
cool.
like we hey, this is from the millionth can case.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Cool.
So I know where the millionth can is right now, but it's a secret.
You should have had it like as a trophy. Like, hey, you guys.
This is the millionth can. Here it is. No one will ever know any otherwise.
But no, and also like the 12 ounces coming back too. Like I love obviously a good pint and stuff, but too like it's hard to crank down 16 ounce 6.8 percenters all day. Like when I'm out in the like barbecuing, then I did like 4 of these. I'm like, oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if I did 4 of these, I'm slightly less impactful.
For the longest time, I always say like this was the norm for us drinking like craft beer fan, like craft people like, and I'm like, oh, the baby cans. They're like, no, that's a normal size can. You psycho. Like these are, you know.
Right.
But like you're saying, you sometimes you buy a can and the bigger cans, you're like, man, like not trying to like I love Yingling, but. When they came up with the mango,
Oh,
and the
God,
only
it was
option
24 ounce.
was 24. And by the
And
time
it was
you're
not
like,
good.
you're like, I don't want this beer ever again because it was too much to consume in one shot by yourself. So sometimes these like the 12 ounces are perfect for that. Where sometimes too much is like even if the beer's good, like if it's a sour, you're not that like. You're like, this is too sweet. I can't keep drinking these.
Yeah,
all
like
day.
we just had on the show last week. We did one of the fruited sours from Fourscore, and it was fantastic, amazing like brunch beer. But like,
like a mimosa.
I couldn't do a full like 16 ounce of it by myself. Like my
Yeah.
wife and I split one the other day.
Yeah.
But so now we just cracked the orange creamsicle hazy variant of the Fog Monster, and oh boy, this is fantastic.
No, thank you. Yeah, we're super stoked on that. We actually did that I think last year as like just a limited release, and that hit really hard. People were super stoked on
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
So we knew we wanted to
Our
include that
photographer,
in
my brother,
in the variety
sneaking
pack.
around.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome.
So I'm not a huge orange flavored. I like oranges, but I don't like orange flavored things. And Bolero Snort, is it Bolero Snort from Jersey?
Yes.
They had an orange creamsicle that I loved, and I thought, man, like it still drinks like a beer, but the flavoring is amazing. And I'm not just saying this because you're sitting in front of me. Like this gives that, like this is on par with that, where you still know you're drinking a beer, but that orange and the vanilla and the cream, like it's all there. That's
Yeah, dude,
really,
this is
really
awesome.
good.
Another like this would be an awesome like hot weather sitting out. This is gonna be a patio beer. I think one of these.
This is unbelievable.
No, for sure. I mean, got to give a shout out to our head brewer Logan and just like all the other team members that have been involved in improving like quality and just focusing on that. Like sometimes I think breweries, it's like the safety net is having like all these flavors.
Yeah.
And for us, it's just the complement, and that's what we want it to be.
Yeah,
So,
it's like it's nothing's overpowering. It's very
yeah,
well balanced.
Yeah, so like we want to just every day we talk about how to just make better and better beer. Like,
Yeah,
that's the vision.
Yeah, like this still keeps the essence of Fog Monster, but just adds that little twist to it, and it's really nice.
For sure. One exciting thing about Fog Monster I wanted to tell you guys, which was a cool experience, is we actually got to go out for hop selection.
Oh, nice.
So like we actually got to choose the different crops specifically of the hops that are going into all of our IPAs.
Oh, awesome.
So like we're really excited about getting that crop in, and like all of our hops are going to be juicier and like pop even harder just because we're able to like
beautiful.
actually hand select them. So like there's these things that we're graduating into at Rusty Rail.
Nice.
that-
Where are your hops? The section.
so out of Yakima Valley in Washington State.
That's what I
So-
figured was gonna be Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest, but
Yeah, so that was like a super humbling experience for us because we're just like, hey, we're like small time guys from Mifflinburg, and like here we are at this like hop farm in Washington.
That's
like,
awesome,
Just
dude.
smelling all these hops and like,
oh, I'm not just the field just must smell amazing.
oh, dude, it's crazy. The difference is in the like hop varieties, even if like so say it's Citra,
Yeah.
like Citra or whatever, it's not. And like we didn't know that until we went out there. So you're like sitting there and you have like 4 different crops of Citra, and you're like going through it, and it's like, wow, these are all extremely different. And being able to make that choice in the beginning, we think is gonna we're gonna have some really good stuff coming out
like
this
get
year.
those notes off the bat and see
One
what's
of my
up.
favorite, just because, like I said, I don't know much about beer or what hop does what, but I love when breweries do the. I just want to give a little credit to the first one I ever tried. For me anyway, I know Warwick Farm does it a lot, but I think the first one I tried was Benny's when they did like say like Fog Monster and like this is Fog Monster Galaxy, this is Fog Monster Citra Mosaic, and then as like someone who's trying to learn the beer game, like oh that's what the Mosaic is, because sometimes so many different hops go into a beer and it's unless you're like really like good at picking that out, you can pick which hop is making what flavor. Because we always said like, how does beer not have this like how did you not add this to it? And like no, that hop brings all that to the table. So it's kind of neat to like learn that behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when like wow, that's really like pineapple, and then it's like there's no
There is
pineapple in this.
Yeah. Or when you
It's like
taste
this. What is this wizardry?
Or when you taste pineapple and you just may be in a different altered mind state.
Yes.
You're like, there's no pineapple in this beer. I'm like, I get pineapple.
Yeah, but oh man, so we just cracked the strawberry one too. Wow, dude, these are like
I
and
found my all day beer.
holiday beer, like, and that's like part of it. Like when it like I don't love fruity beers, but like these are nicely balanced. It's not overpowering, and still, like I said before, it still keeps that essence of the Fog Monster.
I'm saying this right now. This is my favorite strawberry beer I've ever had.
Ever.
Ever.
Thanks.
I think I might be on that too, because so
Let's
many are
go.
like overtly strawberry, and you're like, ooh wee.
So, one of my favorite candies is either the strawberry gummies, like
Yep.
the
Yeah,
or
like the
the
actual-
or the cream puff balls.
Yep.
And this tastes like a beer version of that candy.
Yeah.
Like the strawberries there, the cream is there.
Do you remember
like,
the cream savers?
Yeah.
That's the Lifesavers cream savers.
They're actually coming back.
That's what this
Oh,
is.
nice.
Yeah,
That
it's
vanilla and
exciting.
strawberry
Yep.
is fantastic.
Well, we joke pretty often about like, hey, like we need some ideas for beers. Let's like walk through the candy aisle at 7-Eleven or something like that. Like, try to figure out what we want.
I think the only thing
That's
that
like a
could
common
set this
joke.
Sour
out for
Patch
me
Sour.
is if you did like a peach creamsicle. Like that
All right.
peach ring type.
There we go. I
With the
guess that's-
vanilla, like
That'd be sick.
Because the thing is that both with the orange and the strawberry, the fruit flavoring is there. But I really think what sets it apart is that vanilla and that cream and like the oat, almost like I don't know like what goes in, but the oat almost like where the oat kind of gives that pale white mouthfeel.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
creaminess and that vanilla is almost on the same level as the fruit, where it's like one's not overpowering the other, and it meets really, really well.
Yeah, all of these have been fantastically balanced. Like everything is, wow.
Well, I'll give you credit if we do a peach creamsicle.
Cool.
And then you give me credit for the beer battle royale.
Yes.
We're
If
gonna
we-
do
if
it.
we do
Yeah.
the
I
beer
have to,
Well, you're
with the 30 beer battle, the 30 beer Royal Rumble. I'll have to invite you down.
All right,
Yeah.
I love
We'll
it.
come up here and shoot it, and then we'll put cots out for us. So.
Yo, we have sweets upstairs, man. We'll just stay here.
Hey,
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
do that. Yep. We'll put on. We'll have to.
Yeah.
We'll
we
have to
can watch-
whiteboard that.
We'll watch wrestling and stuff. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
Sweet. No, so one of my favorite things about Rusty Rail too, besides obviously the beer, is the evolution of your can art.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah,
just
thanks.
jump into that too.
So like I remember your old styles and they're fine. But
Like the Trails End
Yeah.
and
And the Dirt Wolf.
that's victory.
the original Wolf King.
Yeah,
Original
the Wolf
Wolf
King.
King.
Yeah.
The Wolf King, what it originally was, and until now,
I love it.
Dude,
is a
I love it.
drastic change.
Yeah, the new can art for everything has been amazing. So, what do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah,
Who's your
so
artist?
Jeff McGreevy, I actually crazy like beer world connection stuff. Like, so, geez, 17 years ago when I was managing that retail store in Bloomsburg, Jeff was actually one of my customers. Like my first 2 weeks here at Rusty Rail, Jeff was painting the murals here.
Oh, nice.
So I actually came in. I'm like, Jeff, what are you doing in Mifflinburg at like my new job? Like, because I've known him forever, and he is an awesome tattoo artist in like the Bloomsburg area and all over the world. But Jeff's our artist. He didn't originally obviously do the artwork, but we were lucky enough to keep him on staff, and he's full-time like graphic designer,
Yeah.
artist, and
I will say that the Wolf King, the original logo was fun.
yeah.
But compared to what it is
The new
now,
one is
it's like
epic.
Yeah, it's like you turned up to 11.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You know, it's wild is that like I love Jeff. Like, I don't think we could do what we're doing without him. I actually like am a strong supporter of the original Wolf King because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm like this is
You said
awesome
it, not us.
because it's bad. Yeah, yeah.
No, it'd be fun to have all the new cans be like this fancy artwork.
Yeah.
Just have Wolfgang.
I think the joke we
it's
make.
the old logo forever.
I think the joke we made is
Or just
that
put out throwback ones.
the original logo looked, and there was nothing wrong with it. It was not bad art because art is all subjective.
It's better than I could ever do.
But it looked like someone like someone's kid from the brewery might have drawn it.
Unfortunately, that's not like a cool story that I could break that news to you that like, yeah, it was my son or something like that did it, but no.
Oh man.
They're like, can you draw? Like, I can draw, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I've seen a wolf before. Yeah, of course. It's like those like medieval paintings that you see. It's like, have you ever
there's
seen
like
a
cats.
horse or something?
Or when someone gets like the wolf tattoo by a tattoo artist who's
That's not good.
And you get like the wolf like
Yeah,
his
bro,
face
check
is
out that
crooked.
wolf, man.
Yeah.
It's like
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that level. But
No.
seeing
But
the new one compared to the old one,
yeah,
you're
just
like,
but all the new can art, the coloring, everything, because like we got the rainbow trout here on
the shimmer.
The shimmer here is amazing. The coloring on the can.
the puka.
The puka is really
puka
cool.
one's really cool.
I love the Wolf King. They're all awesome. Like this, the Fog Monster that we just cracked, the Fog Monster Double, looks like a black metal, a black metal logo, which is awesome.
So I'll start this one off. I love Fog Monster, and sometimes when you double it and triple it, it's like, oh, it's cool to say we tried it and to move on. Like I love Nugget Nectar, and Double Nugget Nectar was a good time, but I think the
regular,
original ZOG. This is really, really like. How does it get smoother?
And it's 9.5%. This is trouble.
It's dangerous. It's super dangerous.
This
beer.
is super dangerous. If this was not on the can and I was drinking it, I'd be very upset in the next like 2 hours after I cranked a few down.
I'm trying to go back and forth and see like.
Yeah, like what's the difference?
Our logistics and packaging manager Justin, he like was talking to me last week and he's like, "Yo, like, are we sure that it's actually even 9.5? Because like I was like out doing yard work and I had to, and he's like, I like was gone.
Yeah.
He's like, is it actually higher? Like, no, we're sneaky sometimes with our ABVs. Like, try to bounce it.
Like it's also, I think, like there should be a rule. Like so, if the ABV creeps up. So a 16-ounce can is no. It has to be in a 12.
Yeah.
Right.
Like bartenders pouring this
Yeah.
today, be like, this will kill you. Like, relax. Like,
Like,
he does not
slow
drink.
Yeah, it'd be like, all right, he ordered a double. Let's give him
Yeah,
a
it's like
single.
those sneaky
Give him a
ABVs.
regular
Because
Fog Monster.
one of my favorite, my brother who's sneaking around here taking pictures for us, helping us out today. And I remember the first time he had Mad Elf, and he didn't realize it was 11.9%.
Yeah, you'll lose your pants drinking that beer.
If you're from Central Pennsylvania, you have a Mad Elf story.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's like everyone has their like we messed up and
what
drank too much Mad Elf story.
So what happened?
Why?
Oh,
Why
man.
am I here?
So guys, what do we got going on over the next few months to hear the brewery? Got any fun stuff? I heard about a wrestling event. I
Yes.
believe?
Can
Yeah.
we please talk about this wrestling?
Yeah. June 25th, we're gonna have a professional wrestling event here. It's called Slam Fest. We did it last year out in the gravel parking lot, and it was awesome. It was like a tailgating, like wild
nice.
event. So we're doing it again this year, and we're super stoked.
Is the roster, like the people you told me roster, are they confirmed or is that still?
I think Bro Keller is confirmed.
I love Bro. I love Bro Keller. I'll even
he's
tag
awesome.
him in this. I love Bro Keller.
Dude, he's the coolest dude. Like I was starstruck. You know what I mean? Like you don't. People like me that maybe don't follow wrestling, you don't know what to expect.
I chill with him all the time at shows. He's
yeah.
so cool.
And like, I was like, okay, like I don't know what these types of guys are. They're gonna be like, guys that are like me, like what I mean, just trying to do stuff. And then you see these guys come in, you're like, no, these guys are freaking awesome. They're like amazing athletes.
Dude,
And
over the past probably 4 or 5 years, the indie game in the area really stepped their game up. Because you had the dudes that he might die in the ring to now people really branding themselves.
We have this thing now that people, a lot of wrestling fans aren't even aware of. It's called IWTV. It's like Netflix. And it's all these indie promotions from all over the world go to this, and it's $9 a month, and you get independent wrestling, and a lot of it is Northeast Pennsylvania based, because the guy who runs it's out of Scranton. And he'll pull stuff from Mission Pro, which is Thunder Rosa's company in Texas, and all these different places. And you get to watch all these independent stars from all over the place perform, and it's great. And Fight TV has a whole bunch of PPW and stuff is on there. So there's you can literally, besides just national cable television, watch professional wrestling every day of the week. And now you can add a subscription on where you're watching all this independent stuff and see guys like Bro Keller, all over the country. Like the market for wrestling is so huge again, and it's exciting.
Yeah, and like I said, and I love the way people are branding themselves now. Like there's like people really working that social media. Really, like our buddy of ours, Andy Heder, he's really stepped up his game, getting fit and
You have to.
and building his brand again now. And
Is he gonna come out?
He might.
If you need a wrestler, he'll come out.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get him out here.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him. Andy, you're gonna wrestle here at Rusty Rail. We already booked you.
He has the best Twitter handle. His last name's Header, so his name is Get Some Header.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, like it's people taking notice, and like I just see like random like other indie wrestlers. They're like, how are they not like in the WWE?
Here's a cool Bro Keller story. So we both work for this company, PPW. He's actually the world champion there. He's like the top. He's actually wrestling Davey Richards very soon for like the title. And Davey Richards is a legend. But Bro Keller also has amazing locks.
Yeah.
And I walked in to get like a promo shot because they want me to get a promo shot. And I said to the guy, like, he has a fan there for the ladies, like they can blow their hair. And I'm like, can I get the fan? And he's like, come on, dude. And I was like, all right. And I just kind of stood there to get the photo. And I left and came back, and the fan's in full blow, and Bro Keller's getting his photo. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, bro. You stole my idea. Like, I was totally going to do that. And he's like, so me and every time we joke, we're like we're the hair guys. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, he's like high energy Bro Keller. His actual gear is like Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the Rocco's Modern Life. He's so cool.
So, we got any other music events or anything coming up soon?
Events specifically here at the brewery, not like anything as fun and exciting as Slam Fest, but we're always doing stuff. I would say hit our socials up.
If you ever need a metal band, let me know.
Oh yeah, so we did a metal show 2 years ago called Merry Metal Christmas, and
nice.
our head brewer Logan Powell actually came in and wrote metal covers to like every Christmas Carol.
That is awesome.
And it was probably one of the proudest moments I've had here
I
at
gotta
Rusty Rail
keep
Brewing
it.
Company. Was
That
like
is
watching
sick.
the squad go like crazy on these like.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and then as I was telling you guys earlier, I'm trying to work on my screen voice so that I can start to contribute just because.
Nice.
Just get drunk and get on stage. That's the best way to go about it.
Easy, done, and I guess I'm already ready.
Now, when people come to the brewery, what are some things to expect? I see like we have the room here, like the bottling and everything like that. Like, if you've never been here, when you walk in, it's stunning.
Place is beautiful.
There's woodwork
Fantastic.
everywhere. When the lights hit the woodwork, everything's polished and shiny. It just the tables have the logo. Like, you guys go the extra mile when it comes to this building.
Oh, absolutely. And, we talked a little bit about the history, and I kind of just talked about my history. The history of Rusty Rail Brewing Company is two brothers, Paul and Eric John. They actually own another business here in town called Ritz-Craft Corporation.
Yep.
So they saw this building go up for sale, and it sat vacant for about 10 years. And they just had this vision of turning this into this beautiful pub here. So they, one of the other original founding members, Rich Schrader, actually came in with them and like turn this into what it
I
is.
met some local guy at the gas station, and he said he works for like the owners because they own a couple different. And he's like, I guess like the mechanic who helps fix things for him all the time. Like he works
Nice.
at all of his businesses.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're gonna love it. Food's fantastic. It's beautiful. Like when you walk in, you almost feel like you're walking into an old school rail yard. Like you could buy a ticket and get on a train and
Nice.
go somewhere.
Yeah, like we were here a few years ago. We actually came up on a whim. We went to a winery down near Lewisburg. They had like a haunted hayride. I can't remember what winery it was, but we're like, well, what brewers are there in the area? And I think we looked, Sealands Brewery was like, we've been there before and it's good. I like it. But we were kind of like in a middle ground. Like, you know what? Rusty Rail's cool. Let's go check it out. And we walked in, we're like, holy shit, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
I have a whole new perspective, and I don't want this to come off like a negative because it's totally not a negative. But like how we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, how I kind of put you guys in a higher category because of, and it's still there, like the quality and everything the presentation is here. But I almost thought like Rusty Rail was a Yards and a Trogs, how you said, and then coming here and seeing how like the head guys are getting down and dirty with everybody else and putting that work in. It almost makes me like honestly enjoy Rusty Rail even more now to see like
thanks, man.
and I hope you guys get to that point where you can be that next Trogs or be that next Victory. Because I think when it comes to quality and reach and brand recognition, you're there already. So it's really cool for your hard work to kind of like being here and seeing this building and experiencing everything, and just the beers always speak for themselves, but like putting a face behind the beers, and that's kind of what we're trying to do with the podcast. This is. It's a home run for us. I can't wait for the hang off the whole day.
Yeah, this is going to be a blast.
No, we're
Can't
gonna have a
wait.
great
This is
time
gonna be a
today.
blast. So,
And yeah, thanks for having me, you guys. Like,
this is going to kill me. This Rusty Double Hazy. Dude.
I want
Oh
to
my
drink this
God.
all day,
I
but I
can't.
know I have to drive later, so I'm going
I
to enjoy
don't
a couple
have to
more
drive
of
later,
these
and I don't want to.
you guys know Scott Fabrizio, right? you met Scott Fabrizio?
Yes,
I think
Scott, I really appreciate Scott's one who helped
Well,
us
he's
set this
staying
up.
with his wife in one of the suites. Just let him know that you're staying on the couch. Get some.
All right.
All right, cool. But yeah, no, really thanks to Scott.
slumber party.
Scott, he's the one that helped set us up and get us.
You and
in
Scott look
contact
like
with
you
these
guys would be a badass tag team.
Yeah, I mean, so back to the wrestling thing. Like, I like was talking to the guy that was like setting it up, Vince. He's super awesome, Vince Glamrock, super talented dude. And I was like, yeah, like I'd love to like hop in there and do stuff. And he's like, just looked at me and like laughed. He's like, you don't get like what these guys are gonna be doing. Like, you know, it's not like something that you can just like hop in
visually,
and like.
you and Scott look like you'd be a sick tag team.
Yeah.
I would believe it.
Dude,
100%.
no, it's funny because the first time you ever feel a real ring, I remember, oh God, I was maybe 18 or 19. I briefly trained, but even before that, our friends took us down to a training place the one time and just mess around because we used to do the backyard, jumping off of
I love how much
roofs and
wrestling,
stuff.
because since WrestleMania, we've talked on this podcast. I'm
Right?
super excited about it.
But I remember we went in the ring and they don't feel good. I missile drop kicked a buddy off the turnbuckle and I couldn't breathe for like 5 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna die.
So regardless of what you may
And they're like, yeah, you should have done that.
for what you may think about him or how you feel about him, Logan Paul said some really kind words about the world of professional wrestling. He's like, I boxed, probably the best boxer in the world. I've trained. I've done everything you could possibly do because I have the money to do it. He goes, that wrestling ring is no joke.
No.
He goes, I did a 13-minute match and I couldn't walk the next day. How do these guys do it 365 days a year?
Yeah, right. Their tour schedule's insane.
Our Andy Header, actually, he trained with Chikara back in the day, and his head trainer was Claudio, which is now Cesaro.
Yeah.
And then he actually trained. He's trying to downplay it, but he trained at the Dungeon, which is the Martin the Mess brothers, and they're no joke either. Like that was a cool. Even if he didn't like go through with it, but you stepped into a place that like a lot of big names and a lot of history of professional wrestling in our area came from.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I
So
just
you're-
unfortunately didn't have the time to.
So you're getting a partner to go against Scott and I? Is that what we're hearing right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bill and Andy, me special guest. Scott. I shook Scott's hand. I wouldn't want to get punched by those things.
Yeah, right.
He's got some mitts on him.
Oh man, but
All right, well, I just want to do this. I think it'd be fun. We have to do our beer of the night.
yeah, we do, and we want to obviously we want to be on time because we got some things going on here.
Well, real quick before you jump into this, I don't want to keep you too long. If there's I know we were talking about the original beer, but current lineup and maybe beers that aren't really on tap anymore. What are some of your favorites that came out of here, and what's one that you would say like this is my go-to Rusty Rail beer or something like when you're like all right, I'm off the clock, I can grab a beer. What are like two-part question almost.
Okay, so go-to Rusty Rail beer. I don't want to be cliche, but I do drink a lot of Fog Monsters, and then Wolf King. Like I'm a big roasty stout. It's a nice like one to wind down on. And then in the history of Rusty Rail, man, it's hard because like I get to help bring stuff back if you want it, so I get to be a little selfish sometimes. Swing Tree has always been one of my favorites, and we actually just brought that back. You can have it today.
Okay.
It's a single hop mosaic
nice.
hazy IPA.
Oh, I like mosaic.
Just super
I
refreshing and
sucked for a
juicy.
long time
What's
on
your-
tap checking my beers, and
what's
so
your-
I missed a lot.
What's your favorite non-Rusty Rail beer?
So this might surprise everybody, but I told you that I'd worked for Dirt Act Brothers for 5 years, and they're a Miller Coors focused house. I drink a lot of Coors Original.
Coors Original?
I
Your
had
banquet
drank
beer?
a
It's a
lot of
banquet
Coors.
beer, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Yellow
like-
Bellies, that's like my go-to.
I have somehow never had a Coors Banquet.
I also want to give a shout out
Yes.
to Matt from Dirt Act as well because he also was involved in putting this together too. So thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much. Honestly, like, I know he like even the Little Brown Barrel. Like
Yeah.
we were there the other day.
hung out with
hanging
Matt a
out.
few times, yeah.
and he's just like, yeah, we're gonna be at the Rusty Rail event. I'm like, we're doing a podcast there. He goes, how? I'm like, because of you. like you in the Washington, like you gave us this opportunity to meet people. I just looked. I have 21 Rusty Rail check-ins on Untapped. I didn't realize that was that high. That's a lot of Rusty Rail. I love
I'm
that.
super lazy with it, so I don't know.
I want to throw this out on the podcast too. We do read those, and it does hurt our feelings if people rate them bad. So just know that like everyone on the team will read your Rusty
here's the
Rail
thing.
check-in.
I don't do descriptions. So
Okay.
our joke on the podcast is because we use Untapped a lot, right? So we're a 2-star podcast looking for a 5-star beer.
Nice.
Right?
That's a good tagline.
Yeah. And we always try to protect the 4. So if a 3.75, that's a really, really good beer for us, but we try to protect that 4. So if we go over the 4, that's something we're going to go to all the time.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find. I wanted to make sure this was your beer before I said I really, really like. I just wanted a little more peach out of it, but this was a great beer. The Model T, the peach tea beer.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah, I was.
No, thanks.
I was a big fan of that one. I wanted to double check before I say like that was one that I was like, I hope it wasn't not you. And I'm like, I love the Model T. You're like, that wasn't me, dude.
No, yeah, Model T was ours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
I've got
great.
11 that average 3.5 and above.
Nice.
I'm just making sure I
Nice,
never
appreciate
had that swing. Oh, the Oktoberfest you guys make is really. I'm a huge Oktober. I love the Marzen like lagers. That's my thing. Yeah, I think most of the stuff here that I'm looking through my check-ins is still mostly except the one we named. We named one of your
the
beers.
Scoop Monster, the Boilo variant that they had down a little bit.
Oh, word.
Yeah, so-
Dude, that was so good.
When we checked it in that night, it wasn't.
It was
didn't
not this.
create.
We made it.
So we made it. So
Scoop
it's
Monster
awesome.
yeah.
exists.
So Scoop Monster is your Boilo inspired fog monster.
Dude, that was so good. I love that one.
You're feeding us some good ideas, man.
Dude, if you put that one out, that one was
If
fantastic.
you need a group of guys to come up here and drink and name beers with you,
It does.
We're in.
we got
Always,
you.
yeah.
That's our dream.
But, yeah,
we don't want
no.
to brew it. We just want to name it.
Because when we went up for that, holy shit, dude, that like it captured the essence of a Boilo, and it was really good. We really liked it.
The only thing, so Boilo, obviously you may know, there's a battle between the boilers. There's traditional, and he's in there probably roll, and there's the apple pie.
The apple pie.
Or people love the
Yeah.
apple pie.
Apple pie's not
It's
Boilo.
not Boilo, though.
I love the apple pie. If
I mean,
if
it's
someone
good,
goes,
it's its
"Here's
own
tra-
thing.
Here's traditional, here's apple pie. I go apple pie all day.
I always go
Traditional.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had. You guys are gonna have to show me.
So the traditional Boilo is like it's gonna be like orange and lemon and like a ginger base with the four queens, and then the apple pie is just like
Cinnamon. And,
yeah.
It's still
It's
four
still
queens
good.
and everything, but instead of the orange and
They use
thingy,
apple and
there's
cinnamon and stuff.
apple cider, usually ginger ales added.
Yeah, well,
we need that.
You guys should do a Boilo contest up here.
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Does Boilo stretch up this way?
We can make it.
I haven't seen it. but Yeah, we need
Some
to.
people take their recipes to their grave.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's
They will
awesome.
not tell people their recipes. It's
Dude,
like a
that's
big
awesome.
deal.
I based mine off like my mom's like dad's or somebody's, and like the paper she had was so faded I couldn't read half the recipe.
So it is 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
People
we're
will be rolling
gonna
in.
well, let's wrap you up here, Guy. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for letting us come and hang out and
Thank you so
sample
much.
these beers. Everything is fantastic.
Let me just get housekeeping out of the way real
Yeah.
quick at the end. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with Bangin Beers Podcast. One of our shorter episodes, but we're going to throw this in the middle of the week. And if you want to hang out with us, we're live every Sunday. It varies between
This was like
12,
158.5.
12 or, we vary between 12 or 3 depending how much we drink on Saturday.
Or at one time Billy works.
Which I've worked on, so we should be good at noon.
Yeah, but we do have the merchandise. You go to iwpnetwork.com. We have T-shirts like the Lord. So we may, if you look, we may
Or,
have.
hold on.
We may have
Is it a
inspired.
Chetty shirt?
It is a Chetty shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Except we changed a little bit, and then our faces are. We have
Oh,
all
that's
four of our
great.
faces. Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you.
And I believe because
I am
Bob,
wearing Bob
we have the
because
Lord
Bob
Bob
couldn't
today
make
because
it.
our fourth member, unfortunately, Bob is down in Charlotte, North Carolina right now on a
when
work
we-
training.
When we found out about this was a big deal to us. Like we love your product. We love the fact that you guys invited us up here and we get to sit down with like one of the faces of the company. It means a lot to us. And Bob found out like a week ago that his job was sending him to North Carolina to go work. So he got to miss all this and he's like bummed. Bob
man.
and his wife will literally drive around.
Yeah, he
all
does
up and
our
down-
legwork.
Yeah,
Yes.
he literally is like, hey, this weekend I'm driving to Maryland and I'm gonna go hit up like 16 breweries.
Oh, wow.
And he just like he can drink. He can
Because
bring
of
what?
Bob and his family, we have Bangin Beer stickers in Colombia and the Dominican Republic,
that's
Dominican
awesome.
Venezuela.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So Bob's not here. So thank you, Bob, for and we'll definitely come back. And even just we come up here and hang out with Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like one of the cool things about Rusty Rail is that our brew team is usually hanging out Fridays. Like
Sweet.
I mean, like we go up to the game room that we have, shoot pool, have
Oh,
a beer.
nice.
So it's like not uncommon to come like see us. So
Cool.
You know, if you guys
Yeah,
want
we'll
to come
definitely be
out,
back
like-
here.
But
This is-
we also do have the Patreon. So it's $1 to $25, whatever you can afford. I know right now times are tough for people, a pandemic, the whole nine. If you can't support a share, just tell somebody about the podcast, helps us out. But we want to thank the people who do support. Ryan Vox from Outbreak Wrestling, David S., Brett Squared from the Cake Stand in Monty City, Bridget M., Andrew H. from Bangin Beers Podcast, Greg R., Heidi B. from the Not Cool in High School podcast, Ryan G. from the Fueled by Haas podcast, our Pittsburgh's buddy there, Kelly from Crystal Mountain Healing, as well as Truth Behind Illusion, Tommy B., the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop, Brad Z., Higher Than Other Words podcast, and JH. So thank you all for the support. It helps us pay the bills. And
you guys keep the lights on.
Yeah, you help us do a lot. Like I said, we have merchandise. If you can't afford any of that, we completely understand. just like, share, tell somebody about the podcast, and it means a lot.
And
to
for our
us.
Patreon subscribers, we're looking for some more fun giveaways to do. We did
Yeah.
our Bangin Beers custom Yeti Colster a month or two ago.
And anyone who donates over 10 is in the running for a free T-shirt giveaway every month. So I have to pick out for April, March yet. So I have to do March giveaway and then April. So
And then go check out our links for the merch. We got the Bangin Beers Patty's Pub shirt.
Yeah.
That I'm super proud of.
and then Not Cool in High School, our pop culture show, is having some spin-off shows. We have the horror, the Disney, and then the one me and you will be hosting, the Star Wars one. So the Star Wars nerd versus someone who's only ever watched the movies once are gonna collaborate, and we're gonna go through the whole Star Wars trilogy.
I call being on the episode for Empire.
Okay.
Empire, you're in.
Nice.
Yeah. But yes, thank you all so much from the Bangin Bears team. Rusty Rail.
Thank you guys.
this is-
Really
thanks.
appreciate it,
Yeah,
my friend. This is a
absolutely.
lot of fun. Thank you
if
for
you-
the trying these beers here. And
If you did not,
can't wait to see the rest of the
yeah,
day.
if you did not go on our social media and come hang out today, you fucked up. That's all there is to it.
You done goofed. You done goofed.
You goofed it up because this is going to be a great event. 2 bands, tons of great fun things, and people are all hanging out. So I'm excited. Let's get this.
Can eat
wrapped
some
up
good
so people
food,
can
drink
get
some
in here
good
and drink.
beers, hear some good music.
Let's get out of here.
Bangin'
Bangin'
Beers
Bears
are out.
podcast.
All right, let's go help them package these. 12
Yeah, we got a
packs.
can beer.
Yeah, we gotta get to work, you guys.
Yeah, we're helping them out.
See ya.
See ya.
Sweet.
Awesome. We do all right.
Awesome, man. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man, you
That
have a
was
good time?
awesome.
Yeah, man. It was a great time. Thank you.
Dude, this is